Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. We've got Jacqui here. We've got Piston here. Piston's with us. How is everybody doing? Feel free to hop in the chat and say hello. Let us know who's here and let us know how you're doing. Where are you joining from? How was your weekend? How was your full moon? How was your Mercury retrograde coming to an end? Both of those things happened yesterday. Let's see who's here. Lisa says, hi, wishing you all a great week ahead. Thanks, Lisa. April says, hello. Susan, beautiful. Alice, good morning. If this is your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I do a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats. I was trying to think about how to introduce myself. Today we're here to talk about a lot of things. So I'm preparing to head to Sedona this week. I'm going to be flying on Wednesday and Friday, the other days that I'm normally here on Insight Timer. So this is the only day that I'll be here this week. So today I think I just want to, I haven't looked ahead at the astrology really at all. I'm going to go through with you guys what's coming up for the next little bit on the fly. This is going to be Jacqui in the raw. And I've only looked ahead to the end of the month. So we'll see what goes on. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit of astrology today. We'll pull some cards today. We'll do some chatting today. Gata, hello. Lori, hello, everyone. Patty says, greetings. I've been going through some intense energy shifts. How so, Patty? What kind of energy shifts have been going on with you? Because I feel the same. I'll just talk about it now. Nothing crazy. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break from Insight Timer. I think I'm going to take the rest of the year away from Insight Timer. I'm going through some intense shifts. I'm going through a lot of shedding right now, a lot of shedding of things that I'm doing just to keep the boat afloat and actually following my joy. Like what am I doing here? And while I'm not saying that I don't get joy from Insight Timer, I get an immense amount of joy from Insight Timer. I think I might be using the platform in a way that's not serving me. So I need to completely just get away for a moment. I'm ending a lot of things with my workflow right now. I ended my Patreon. I tried to switch my Patreon to give you guys ad-free videos, and that gained 0 traction. So I'm like, what the hell am I doing? So I ended that. I'm just ending. Let's take a break. Let's take a step back. And whatever is meant to flow will naturally start to flow. So I'm sure that that's not exciting to hear that someone that you come see 3 times a week is not going to be around for some time. I have to. So what I've been doing, I've been going ham on these songs. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm using AI to make songs, and it's so fun and it's so creative for me. Like, I come up with the lyrics, I come up with the message of the song, I pick the styles of the song. I've been turning birth charts into songs. So if you want to grab one of those, you can look at my link and grab one of those for yourself. But lately I've been making songs about wealth affirmations because that's what I'm working on in my personal life right now. So I'm just shifting what I'm creating. So if you want to follow along with what I do to see what I offer, I can't promise what's going to be coming. I have no idea what's going to be coming. And right now I need that freedom for myself. So follow along if you want. All my socials are in my Insight Timer bio. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm about to do. So that's it. I appreciate you guys. Kieran, how are you enjoying your Friday flow state? We've had 2 flow state Fridays, and they both just kind of turned into like group discussions, which I really enjoy. How are you guys enjoying the Friday flow states? Kieran, maybe this is the response right here. Love the rest and reset. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Trina loves boosting me as a manifester. Human design manifester. It's been a few years and I'm trying to learn how to actually like sink into what's going on. But let's talk about the astrology. Let's get some work done here. We'll talk astrology. I'm going to be looking at my calendar over here. I haven't prepared for this session at all. And then we'll pull some oracle cards based on whatever comes out. So today is, yes, Jennifer, rest and reset seems a theme for many people these days. So when I prepped this session on Friday, when I pulled this idea out of my butt, I was like, oh, the solstice is coming up. That's probably why I want to rest so bad, right? I have a song coming out about the winter solstice also. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, that's where that one's going to come out. So yesterday we had our full moon in Gemini, and Mercury also stationed direct. So full moon in Gemini was about letting go of some sort of mental limitation in your life, letting go of something that you believe. And now that Mercury is direct in Sagittarius, we talked about all this last Wednesday if you want to watch the full video. But Mercury direct in Sag now is saying it's time to start speaking your truth. It's time to start putting it out there into the universe. There's something over the last 3 weeks that you may have rediscovered that is your innate truth. It's time to start talking about it. I'm going to pull up the chart on my other tab because that's how I read astrology best. I gaze at the chart and things just come to me. So on Wednesday this week, the 18th, we have the sun squaring Neptune. So the sun will be at 27 degrees of Sag. Did you guys see that reaction? That was up. Sun at 27 degrees of Sag squaring Neptune at 27 degrees of Pisces. So the excitement in my eyes about seeing this is that 27 degrees of Sag, where the sun will be, that's the galactic center. That's the center of the galaxy. That's where like all knowing lies. Wow. Okay, so sun square Neptune in general, this is going to be some tension between how we are showing up in the world, the sun, it's how we shine. Tension between how we show up in the world with the things that we got to let go of. Oh, okay. This is making a lot of sense for me personally, why I'm ready to just like let go of everything I'm doing. Are you guys feeling ready to just let go of everything? There's something about, and this is coming up on Wednesday, but this energy is already available for us. We have already been sinking into it. So there's something galactically that you're aligning with some sort of galactic wisdom here when the sun comes to 27 degrees of Sag. And it's this tension of like, I know, sun at the galactic center says, I know that this is the truth, period. There's nothing opinionated about this. There's no emotions here. This is the truth. And Neptune in Pisces, this is the king of surrender. Let go, drop it, flow, stop thinking, stop attaching to things, just melt into the collective consciousness. So something's coming up for all of us on Wednesday that might be like okay, it's time to let go. Wow, that feels so good. That feels so good. Kelly says the 18th is my son's 18th birthday. It might be an interesting one for him. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. And you know what? I don't care. I was trying to keep things private or tucked away. So this is actually the solar return of my husband. This might be a good time for him to detach from everything that happened in his life this year. It's so interesting. So interesting. Sun square Neptune. So this week, if there's something that you've been feeling like, all right, it's time to drop what I thought. It's time to drop the plan. It's time to drop expectations. Time to drop structure. There's something galactically that's telling you, like, hell yeah, it's definitely time. And then on Thursday, the 19th, Venus and Jupiter will form a trine to each other. So Venus will be at 14 degrees of Aquarius, and Jupiter retrograde at 14 degrees of Gemini. So Trines are harmonious. They like to help each other out. Venus in Aquarius truly values authenticity. Venus in Aquarius values like futuristic thinking. Aquarius is ready to move on to the next thing. It doesn't have to do the Capricorn structure tradition. Venus in Aquarius is like, you know what? If you want to try this random way of doing whatever, let's go for it. Venus in Aquarius values innovation and community. She wants everyone to get along. Receiving support from Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. Jupiter is halfway through his retrograde in Gemini, and he is helping us uncover these like deeper truths within us. So this could be, this is following that Sun-Neptune square. So this could be that there's something that you have been afraid of stepping into because of what your traditional beliefs have told you, and that Sun-Neptune is like, well, fuck it. It's time to just let it go. And then the next day, on Thursday the 19th, Venus and Jupiter retrograde form this trine to help you move on, to help you step into the future, because this is actually what your beliefs are aligning with. Your true beliefs are not aligning with whatever programming has been put into you over the last few decades of your life. Maybe it's time to step into this next version. Maybe it's time to be a little bit more innovative. That's kind of what I feel. I feel like Wednesday will help us, and not specifically Wednesday, but these events sequentially, they're going to help us realize what it's finally time to finally let go of and just trust. And then Venus Jupiter trine is going to help us value the future. It's like where when you want to let go of something, you keep thinking about the what if it turns out terribly? What if I lose everything? What if this never happens? But the Venus Jupiter trine the day after this let go is saying your mind is going to be on the, what if this is actually what I need to get me to where I want to go? What if this is going to be the greatest decision I've ever made? What if this is going to be the best thing for humanity that I've ever done? Kelly, it's going to let him go and spread his wings, but I know that this is my time to focus on me. So needing to hear this. Thank you. Awesome, Kelly. And that's great. That's great. The old traditional thing, it's raising your child. He was a child, right? Now he's 18, like he's an adult. So yes, time to let him go. I love how you're taking that. And then we have the solstice. So we're going to enter Capricorn season on December 21st. It is this Saturday. And that brings us the winter solstice. Winter is a time of darkness. The winter solstice is the darkest day of the year. And I think a lot of us fight the darkness because we're afraid to let go, because we have so many plates spinning. We have so much going for us. And it can feel like, well, if I drop this plate, well, it's going to take its place. Like, what's even coming on the other side? But the winter solstice every year wants us to do that exact thing. And I know a lot of us, myself included, do not like the darkness, like literal darkness. When it gets dark at 4 p.m., it's like soul draining. And a lot of people can fall into depression. And I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and he made it so clear. He's like, yeah, I used to get really sad and depressed when the days got shorter, but then I stopped fighting it and I stopped getting depressed. And that was like, oh, duh. When you release control and you're like, okay, this is happening. I can't change the darkness. I meant to shift my life to align with what the universe is giving to me. That's kind of what the solstice wants us to do. However, we're kind of on our way to the other side. The whole autumn season, we've been getting darker and darker. Solstice is the darkest day of the year, and now we're turning to the bright. So this is the return of the sun. So this can be your day to celebrate all the ways that you have dropped expectations on yourself to bloom 24/7, right? The nature doesn't grow 24/7. It goes into a time of hibernation. So the solstice can be a time for you to reflect on, what have I put down? What have I allowed myself to drop? Hell yeah. Thank you for giving me more space. Now that the sun is going to return, now we can start to bloom and grow these new ideas. So the solstice starts Capricorn season as well. Capricorn season, I don't have the dates in front of me. It'll be about a month until January 21st, 20th, 21st. Capricorn season is cardinal Earth. Cardinal signs always come at the beginning of a season. So now we're beginning winter. We're in the start of the new season. And Earth is your physical reality and also what you value. So coming off of Sagittarius season, where it's mutable fire, burn the bitch down. That's what Sagittarius season tells us. Now that we're coming into the winter solstice, it'll feel a little bit more natural to know what's coming, to know what seeds you want to plant, to know where you want to go physically. I hope that's making sense. Alice says, I love the saying about our children. When our children are little, we give them roots, and when they're grown, we give them wings. I like that. I like that a lot. This solstice is coupled with 4 retrogrades, and that's the theme of this winter solstice song that I've got coming out. I think I have it scheduled for Friday night, so it'll come out the night before the solstice. But this solstice is really asking us to drop everything and go within, to completely slow down, figure out what you're using your energy for, figure out what beliefs are truly guiding what you're doing with your life, figuring out how unique you are and learning how to, I don't want to say capitalize on that, learning how unique you are and how to use that to your advantage, and completely accepting yourself for who you are, dropping all shame, dropping all guilt and shame. That's what this solstice is about, in my opinion. And then a few days after that, on the 24th, we have this ongoing Jupiter square Saturn. This, I can't remember when it started. This is what happens when Jacqui doesn't do her research. I don't have dates for you guys, but I do know that this Jupiter Saturn square is happening 3 times. And the one on December 24th is the middle. So this energy is kind of around right now, and it's not easy because squares are tension, right? So we have Saturn at 14 degrees of Pisces and Jupiter at 14 degrees of Gemini, Jupiter retrograde. And this 14 degree, this is where Venus and Jupiter made their trine. So that might help Jupiter in this square because he's feeling those good vibes from that trine from Venus, who's still 5 degrees away from this. So Saturn in Pisces is, it could be so many different ways. I know a lot of people that are going through their Saturn return right now, so that I'm trying to pull them out of my mind and just think about Saturn in Pisces. So it's such an uncomfortable placement, Saturn in Pisces, because Saturn is all about rules and regulations and boundaries and structure. And Pisces just wants to flow. Pisces just wants to be in the ocean. Pisces just wants to blend into everything. There are no boundaries. So Saturn in Pisces, I feel like this is really going to be subjective. And this is where all this inner truth is going to help you figure that out, aligning to your authenticity. Is it time for you to put boundaries on how much you are interconnected with the world? Or is it time for you to let go of your separation? Is it time for you to melt more into the collective versus being so harshly boundaried and structured? So Saturn in Pisces squaring Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. Jupiter retrograde in Gemini is helping us uncover our inner beliefs, our inner truth, and it's helping us align it to what we actually think and the questions we ask in this world. So this might be a difficult time of questioning yourself within to figure out, am I too separated or am I not separated at all? Where does that fine line lie? Does that make sense? Now let's talk about yin and yang. So this is the day before Christmas that happens, if you're interested. And again, this is a big overarching transit that has been going on for some time. With the retrogrades, this, like I said, is going to happen 3 times, this specific square. And it's not comfortable. And this could be a time of discovering if you are too hands off, too many boundaries, or if you have no boundaries. And that's really something that's subjective. But Jupiter retrograde in Gemini will help you get down to that inner knowing, that inner truth. Jupiter expands, retrograde goes within. And Gemini is all about your beliefs, your thought patterns, how you speak, how you communicate, what you perceive. So Jupiter is really like trying to switch up what you honestly think about your life, about the world, about what's possible. Let's see what else is coming up. This other stuff is pretty small. Okay, well, let's talk about Chiron stationing direct. Have you guys been writing down all these dates? This will be on my YouTube channel, so you can rewatch it if you need to. I'm just going through everything that I have for the rest of the year just to give you guys a heads up. So on Sunday, December 29th, our little asteroid Chiron is going to station direct. Chiron had been retrograde since July 26th. So August, September, October, November, December, 5 months of Chiron retrograde. Chiron is the wounded healer. So he shows us where we feel wounded, where we feel defective, where we feel like we're not supposed to be doing things that way. Chiron is in Aries, which he's been there since 2018. This is no new thing. Since 2018, we've all kind of been ripping ourselves apart a little bit in the best way. So Chiron retrograde in Aries for 5 months has been a process of deeply going within and almost, I get that shadow work feel, looking at the things that you think you hate about yourself. Aries is our personality. Aries is our sense of ourself. It's our ego. It's the mask that we project onto the world. Because who we are, in my opinion, is our soul. It's our heart. That's who we are. But then I put on this Jacqui meat suit every time I wake up when I'm done astral traveling in my dreams. and I step into Jacqui, like Jacqui is my Aries. So you are your Aries. So these last 5 months have been us turning and looking at, well, you think you're lazy. Are you really lazy? You think you're gluttonous. Are you really gluttonous? And it's been this time of getting real with these traits that we've carried. Getting real with, am I really that way? Or have I just been told by a bunch of other people that I'm that way? So it's been, Chiron retrograde can be a little sad. It could be a little like you got to check yourself. So Chiron will station direct on the 29th of December. And this, I feel like, is when we're able to shift, because Chiron isn't just here to screw you over, right? Chiron shows us where we think we are defective, but then in myth, Chiron the centaur went into hiding, essentially. He disconnected himself from his tribe because he felt super different. He made his own little apothecary in a cave, and then he came out of hiding and he was able to heal the world and everyone else in his own unique way. So that's kind of what I feel like Chiron retrograde was. It was us going into our own little cave and looking at it Am I this way? Do I really not like this about myself? Or is this one of the coolest parts about myself? Now that Chiron station's direct at the end of the month, this is like us bringing our own, I was going to say antidote to the world, right? Well, I uncovered these limiting beliefs. Unlimiting beliefs. That's interesting. I uncovered how to be okay with certain aspects of myself during Chiron retrograde. Now that Chiron's direct, let me spread this message to the world. And that doesn't necessarily mean like verbally teaching and explaining what you did to people, but leading by example. Leading by example is monumental, guys. So by embracing the part of yourself that you thought was defective, by just owning it, yeah, I've made some mistakes in my life. You haven't? By just embracing and having that quiet confidence about loving yourself, you will naturally spark and inspire other people to do the same, which, how beautiful is that? Isn't that kind of the goal of humanity, is to help everyone be the best version of themselves? So Chiron direct is saying, go do that. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. Own it, and you will help other people own themselves as well. Hi, Anik. Allie, oh, that's interesting. I have too many boundaries. Beautiful, beautiful. Then utilize that Saturn-Jupiter square and realize how you can drop some boundaries. Christine is joining late. Christine, we're kind of blabbing today. I'm just going through the next few weeks of astrology, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't try to understand every single thing, because I'm just riffing here. Alice, older siblings growing up always said I was stupid. I realize now my part was that I believed them. That perspective changed everything. Thank you for naming that, because 100%. My favorite thing to remember is that there are literally millions of versions of you who live in the minds of everyone you've ever met. No one knows who you are except you. Is that lonely? I don't think so. I think that's pretty empowering. That any projection that anyone has put onto you and told you who you are, that's just how they perceive you. And it's based on their own life, their own experiences, their own perceptions of the world. And that goes both ways. People who adore you, it's just because that's their perception of you. That's their life experience, and you are just this little angel who shows up in their time of need. And that's awesome. Embrace that. But it's the middle way, right? It's the yin yang. It's easier for us to attach to the negative things that people say about us because we think that there's something wrong with us. And it's easier to relish in the wonderful things that people say about you. But if you get attached to getting external validation, then if it turns off for some reason that has nothing to do with you, it just turns off based on the people around you, then you're going to fall into a depression. So that's why it's all about just loving yourself and being okay with yourself and really not attaching to what other people say. I'm not saying to deflect what other people say, but just take it with a grain of salt. Take it as an opinion. Cool, that's your opinion. You think I'm great. Thank you. That's your opinion. You think I'm nuts. Thank you. It's just feedback. Trina, thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate you. And look at that. Mind blown emojis. Okay. So then now we're going to talk about the full new moon, the new moon in Capricorn that happens on Monday, December 30th. And I don't have the time written down, so I'm doing a little bit of real quick astrology math. It'll be in the afternoon-ish. Let's go with 3 p.m. Central Time. Close enough. So around 3 o'clock Central Time on Monday, December 30th, we have a new moon in Capricorn. I can't remember off the top of my head. I did a video on this for my Patreon group, and I remember I got like real excited about what's coming here. But a new moon is always going to give us new beginnings. In the sign of Capricorn is cardinal Earth. So this is a time to literally and maybe, I mean, figuratively and maybe even literally plant a new seed in the earth. This could be the investment opportunity keeps coming to mind. And that doesn't have to be an investment of money. You can invest your time into something. You can invest other resources into something. This feels like this new moon in Capricorn feels like a time to dedicate. Okay, this is what I want for the long term. I'm dedicating that I'm going to do what's in my aligned ability to make this happen. So I just want to make that clear. A new moon in Capricorn doesn't mean, oh, I don't have what I need, so I guess I got to go get this part-time job. It's not sacrificing yourself to get what you want. This new moon in Capricorn on the 30th, this feels like a decision to say, well, in my life, I want to see this goal. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to keep it in mind as I use my energy to align my actions towards that in a way that feels good for me. That's what I feel like this new moon in Capricorn is saying. It can be something that, so now we're coming off the full moon yesterday is the lunar event that's leading us into this Capricorn new moon. So yesterday's full moon was about letting go of limiting beliefs and getting in touch with your truth, universal truth. So if it's true out there, it must be true in here. So then 2 weeks later, we have this new moon in Capricorn. I feel like you're just going to know what is meant for you in your path. You can get more information about your specific adventure if you know how to find 9 degrees of Capricorn in your birth chart. That'll show you which house this is happening within and which area of life is asking you to just, all right, here we go. Here we go. It's time to just dedicate what you're able to dedicate, not what the rest of the world told you that you have to dedicate in order to achieve what you want to achieve. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And then the last thing that I have written down on my calendar is that on January 2nd, that's when Mercury will reach the end of his shadow. So Mercury retrograde ended yesterday, but it'll take him until January 2nd to reach the spot where he began his retrograde. So on January 2nd, Mercury retrograde finishes his shadow, and that can be when clarity comes from these inner truths. Now that Mercury's direct, it's kind of time to start sharing what you thought you learned over Mercury retrograde. It's time to make it make sense out there, and things will sink a little bit deeper at the beginning of January. And this is making me want to give a quick talk about psychosis and schizophrenia and being perceived as spiritual psychosis. People go nuts because they have too much in here and they don't process it out through the throat, through the voice. So if there are some things during Mercury retrograde that got in here that aren't making complete sense yet, the more you put it out, the more you vibrate it out of your throat, out of your mouth, it helps you get clear on what you actually believe. It helps you get clear based off of feedback. It's just aligning your energy to what these new truths are. So yeah, if you ever feel like you've gone crazy, it's probably because you didn't talk about it. You didn't try to process it out loud. And that's what I'm going to say about that. And now let's pull some cards. So I just gave you guys astrology for the next 3 weeks. Sorry to throw this all on you. I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys a heads up of what's coming. I do have daily astrology posts that come out on my socials. So I do post on my YouTube community. I post these on my Instagram and I post these on my Facebook. So those give you the day by day. This is what's happening today. This is what it means. This is how you can utilize it. And then days when we don't have much going on, I try to use that as like an astrology teaching moment. Oh, let's teach you about this now. So again, like I'm doing it now. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it forever, but I'm doing it now. Lisa's been loving the dailies. You're very welcome. This is truly the place that I'm in right now where I cannot promise anything because that's so much pressure. And I've just built up so much pressure on myself to make sure I'm doing the right thing. And now it's time to start thinking about what I need. So let's do a general overview for the next 3 weeks. Letting go of something that the universe is like, hell yeah, it's time to let this go. But then immediately having the future pull you forward, immediately having the what's on the horizon guide your energy. So let it go, but then, okay, I understand why I'm doing this. Capricorn season starts with the solstice. Get quiet, review, reflect. Then Jupiter squares Saturn. What do you believe? Do you believe that you have too many boundaries? Or do you believe that you don't have enough boundaries? And this is where that introspective work can help you a lot, because a lot of people got a lot of opinions on what boundaries are supposed to look like, and that's for them. They can only speak to their way of setting boundaries. You got to get clear on your own. Do you have too many, or do you not have enough? Or are you super healthy? Which when a square comes up, in my opinion, that's the universe saying, like, you have to look at something. So if you're kind of like, yeah, I think I'm fine with my boundaries, you're probably avoiding something. Then at the end of the month, the 29th, Chiron stations direct, and this is your time to just show up with your most authentic self. Show up, lead by example. I love myself, even with all these lumps and bumps and warts and quirks, and this is me, and I fucking love myself. And you will inspire other people to get to that place as well. And then the new moon in Capricorn is time to say, and now this is the next big thing that I'm going to invest myself into. I don't know what this is. And you might have an idea now. Usually what I find with the lunar events, I'm dismantling my Patreon, so I'm not trying to promote it, but I was meeting with my Patreon group every other week, and I would prep the lunar event description for them. And I would be like talking about the astrology ahead of time, be like, yeah, all right, I see that. I already feel that coming in. But then the lunar event would actually happen and it would sink in like, oh my gosh, now I actually feel it. So if there is something that you're like, yes, this is what I'm about to dedicate myself to, keep it in there in the back of your mind. That might be the thing. But December 30th is when we have that new moon in Capricorn, and just revisit. What a wonderful way to end 2024. What a wonderful way to end 2024 with a new, all right, maybe this is what I focused on in 2024. What do I want to focus on in 2025? 2024 was a year of the 8. 8 was abundance, infinite, always having everything you need, right? 2025, if you add up all the numbers, you get 9. 9 is endings. 9 is coming to the end of your road. Realizing that you've been carrying some things that you don't need to carry when you go into 2026. So 2025 is a year to let stuff go, to just drop. Wow. A lot of this is really resonating with me. This is pretty cool. So I'm going to pull a few cards after I read these comments. I know I've been sporadic and scattered, but if this has been serving you in any way, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated. Once we choose the decks that we're going to use today, I always give book dives as a thank you for your support. So if you came in midway, I did drop an announcement earlier that I think I'm going to take a few weeks off of Insight Timer. So just know that this is the last time I'm going to be here for a minute. I'm exhausted. I'm just exhausted with life, and there's new things that are pulling at me. So I just need to take a step back and reevaluate and think about what I'm doing. Trina had an ex that used to tell her who she is and how she was being. He used to talk until I was silent, almost catatonic. I don't know what that word means. After I finally left him, my thyroid went into overdrive. I take meds to manage my hypothyroidism. All that is to say, yes, get truth and feeling out by speaking them and release from the body. I get that. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy how much the energy impacts you. Do I? Yep. This might be a long session today, but I don't care. I'm having fun. So the other day, the topic of trust came up, trust and safety. Okay, here's a quick riff because Trina kind of reminded me of that. My husband, same way. He was very opinionated, but his opinions were fact, right? Like he had no distinction of what opinions were and what facts were, whatever. That's just my perception of him. But it was pretty similar. I would be being myself, and he would ask me, "Why are you acting like a label?" Right? And it was a lot of that. I didn't have no trust. I had little trust. I had little safety. And I felt like whenever I would become vulnerable, he would come at me with like, what did I call them? Like knife hands. Because he would joke, right? Like he didn't know how to understand emotions. And so I would say like, hey, things are coming up and I'm sad about this. And then he'd like make a joke about it. So I was in a place of not trusting that I could be what I wanted to be. The trust that I could be myself and receive the support I needed wasn't there. Therefore, I didn't feel safe, right? Completely 100% fully safe. I'm not saying that like my whole life was biting my nails. Oh, am I going to, like there was safety in some aspects and there was no safety in other aspects. So I was thinking about this the other day because here I'm with Matt, and I feel very safe. There's 100% trust, very safe. And I feel my feminine coming out. I feel my creativity coming back. I feel my natural flow coming back. So I was reflecting on why was this shut off? Because I was way in my masculine. Because I had to protect myself. And at that time, throughout my relationship with my husband, I needed to earn that. I needed to work on that for whatever reason. I healed a bunch of shit that happened in my childhood through having to put up my fists every day. Like it was a time and a place for that, and that's fine. But it was just a huge realization about how much I was in my masculine, protecting myself at the place where I wanted to. My soul was yearning to be able to relax. So I had that thought. It was bigger the other day, but like if you are in a close relationship where you don't have 100% trust, what are you doing? I'm not saying that with judgment. I'm asking a blank question. What are you doing? Why are you there if you can't trust them 100%? What are you working on? What are you healing? What's your goal? Because getting out of that and coming to a place where I do have full trust and I can relax. Oh my gosh. So just saying that. Alice, knife hands like a evil Edward Scissorhands. Exactly. Trina, that's beautiful. I'm so happy for you. Thank you. She said catatonic is a state in which someone is awake but does not seem to respond to other people in their environment. Got it. Allie says, good, follow the signs and rest. We look forward to seeing the new version of you. I feel like you guys have seen 100 new versions of me, especially this year. My goodness. Christine, good for you, knowing what you need, or at least exploring what that is. I'm exploring what I need right now. I have no idea what I need. Part of me loves that. Part of me doesn't. I'm trying to figure out. Am I supposed to know what I need? I don't know. Let's mess around and find out. Okay, let's pull some cards about... What do you guys want to pull cards about? I'm just going to pull 2 cards today. We're going to do one from one deck and one from another deck. Yes, Christine, I am going to Sedona. I'm leaving on Wednesday to go to Sedona, and then we're coming back on Friday. And that's it. Just a quick little trip. I'm going in search of a Native American flute because I want to bring music back into my life. I actually just posted yesterday a little montage of me learning how to play the guitar again. So yeah, I'm doing it. Here we go. It's fun. You want to join? You want to come along for the ride? Here I go. Wendy wants to hear about health, and Beth wants to hear about health and happiness. So it looks like we're going to pull some cards about health. Whatever that means to you, I'm going to leave it the broad sense of health. Broad sense of health. So it could be mental health, could be physical health, could be spiritual health, could be emotional health. So how do we want to ask this question? What will serve? Interesting. What will serve our highest good in regards to our health right now? Christine, did you enjoy Piston licking his butt for y'all? What will serve our highest good in relation to our health right now? And take whatever resonates most with you. 22 Angels Oracle. I might have used this on Insight Timer once, but this was like a resounding yes. So there's an archangel that wants to lead us with our health right now. So feel free to send your energy into this deck. Tuning into whatever area of health is speaking most strongly to you. And let's see what comes out. And just because of time, I'm only going to pull one card from this. So this is a message for everybody. So this is an archangel who wants to work with everybody present. That one wanted to come out, but it went back in. Health. What kind of health am I looking at? What kind of health are you guys? Relationship to self-health. I like that, Trina. Health. Who wants to help us with our health? And what do we need to know? All right, well, we got two cards. I'll take two. Anik says, that's so interesting about being in your masculine and not spending time creating. I have never thought about this and it really resonates. I feel like just keeping the train on the tracks as a parent and partner has me too rooted in the masculine. It's interesting. It's interesting. Just things to sit. Alice, am I grieving in a healthy way? Yes. Allie, emotional health. Stop the overthinking mind. All right, well, we have two guardians that are going to help us. The first one is Gabriel, and she's bringing divine emergence. It's time to be seen. Don't be afraid of your power and gifts. Gabriel, sometimes Gabrielle, strength of God, is the archangel who appeared to Mother Mary and announced the coming birth of Jesus Christ. When she revealed herself, her message was clear. Do not be afraid, for I am an angel of God. In those times, spiritual gifts and encounters were reserved mainly for men in positions of power, such as priests or rabbis. So Gabriel was reassuring Mary. She is the angel of ultimate power and the one who helps us trust in our gifts. The divine counterpart of hope, she is considered to be the angel of mothers and good news because of her connection with Mary. You are blessed to receive this card today, for it brings good news and energy to your world. You may have found yourself in retreat, hidden from the world, or only revealing certain aspects of yourself and your gifts because your past experiences have left you feeling vulnerable and exposed. Gabriel is here to help you move into a newfound space of love and trust. The world is ready for you, and it needs you in all of your glory. Angels are here now to remind you that the worst is over and things can only get better and better for you. If you feel any resistance emerging, either internally or from outer sources, know that it's only the final hurdle to clear before you are sent into greatness. Any resistance is really just an opportunity to demonstrate how ready you are for the next phase of your life. You were born to own your power. Do not be afraid. Everything's going to be okay, guys. Gabriel's here to let you know that everything's going to be okay. What was coming through for that card for me, I mean, not for me, but a little bit different from health, and maybe you can apply this to health. It's the energy of knowing that you're the shit. It's the energy of knowing that you got it. Oh my gosh, come back. It's coming back. It's the energy of, this is what I have to give, and I'm going to give it because I know that this is beneficial. It's not the energy of, am I allowed to give? Am I allowed to be in this role? Is this okay? I hope you guys are liking this. Gabriel's bringing the energy of this male-dominated thing, right? Only priests and rabbis, and it was all men. And Gabriel is like, you know what? I have a message to give to Mary. So here I am. Here's the message. Bye. She came in with quiet confidence. She didn't come in like, hey, Mary, I know that you're usually used to hearing from men, but I'm actually a woman. So what we're going to do here is a little bit different. And I really hope that this is going to resonate with you. She didn't have all those words, all that explanation. Her energy shows, this is what I'm here to give. So that's it. And those messages are usually better received than the ones that come with a lot of warnings and pre-speak and trigger warnings. And but if you have something to say, if you have something to give the world, just do it. Just give it, because it's going to land in the places where it's meant to land. And if it's not landing, it's probably not you. Wow, that sounded really selfish. I just haven't found your people yet. Lisa needed that card. Laura says, me too. Chantel was just asking myself what a rabbi is, and I woke up about 10 minutes ago with the words Rabbi Osborne in my head. Interesting. Trina loves it. Andriana, I love that card. Very strong and much needed message. It's confirmed. Rochelle just joined. Welcome. You're about to get a message about health. Gabriel told us that it's coming. Whatever health you were thinking about, you're fine. You're fine. Everything's always going to work out. Everything's always going to be okay. We also have card number 2, Amethyst. It's coming with that metamorphosis. You are in a vortex of deep transformation. Surrender to the process that's unfolding. Amethyst, sometimes called Holy Amethyst or Lady Amethyst, is an ascended angelic being and divine feminine archangel connected to the energies of transformation and transmutation. She is the divine counterpart of Zadkiel, the keeper of the violet flame, and for that reason has been seen as a guardian of that energy, or even a personification of it. The only documentation of her appears in New Age teachings from the 1980s onward, but she is well regarded and trusted by healers and psychics as an angel who is helping bring in a new golden age. Her sole mission is to help us take what has challenged us and transform it into a mission to serve the earth. The best time to change is when change is happening around you. This is a powerful and enlightening moment of your journey, for you are in a process of deep transformation. There's a good chance that you're feeling some resistance to the changes occurring at this time. Maybe a part of you doesn't feel ready for them, or you don't fully understand the purpose of them. but you are being guided to trust in the process and surrender to the shifts, for they are moving you into a space of wholeness and healing. Change isn't a linear process. Sometimes it will feel as if you're taking one step forward and 3 steps back, but they're all essential and all hold the keys of learning. Energetically, you are like a caterpillar going into the chrysalis, and soon you will have the opportunity to emerge into a more aligned and aware state. If you try to fight the changes that are unfolding around you, you could delay your expansion. So relax. Angels are with you, leading you to real transformation. This feels very aligned with health for me to explain it to you guys. Are you familiar with the work of Louise Hay? All of your, I mean, not even just Louise Hay, lots of people have talked about this, but I love her little book. Anything that manifests physically in your body is directly related to energy. So this change, if something's changing around you, if you've developed a disease, if you've developed some sort of health ailment, it is a body change to show you, hey, this pattern in your life has gotten out of hand. There's something that needs to be addressed. Listen to your body. The body speaks very literally. So if you're having health issues, like you can't digest, if you're having indigestion, what are you not able to digest around what's happening in your life? If you are having low back issues, it's support. Why do you feel like you have so much? Where's the support issue in your life? If you have shoulder issues, what are you carrying on your shoulders? You know, it's literal. So if your body is showing you something, if your body is changing to show you something, this is time for you to say, okay, body, I hear you. I'm going to make some changes so that we can heal you together. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm done. What does eye twitching mean? I don't know off the top of my head. But I'm sure you can Google energetic correlation eye twitching and see what comes up. Louise Hay has a book, You Can Heal Your Life. I'm putting it in the chat. I use it all the time. There's like a little dictionary in the back, and you can look up all the ailments, and it'll give you what you're doing, what your energy might be doing. How to Heal Your Life, Lisa, is constantly on my bedside cabinet. Yeah. Love it. So even if it's not physical health, if you're thinking about another sort of health, emotional health, if something's changing in your life that's triggering a giant emotion in you, it's triggering you so that you can look at what you can change within. That's all that's coming through about that for health. Gabriel wants you to know that it's going to be okay. And it's time. Alice loves the phrase quiet confidence. It's time to just be who you are and share your gifts with quiet confidence because it feels good. It fills you up to do it. So just do it and stop making sure that other people are okay with it. Because if they're not okay with it, they will exit, and that's fine. If they are okay with it, they'll stay, and that's wonderful. Notice how I just showed up and oh my gosh, it was so hard this morning to like come to that, to set into like, I just don't want to be on Insight Timer. And I came here with quiet confidence. Hey guys, I need time for me, so I'm going to step away. If some of you guys aren't cool with that and like you stop following me, that's for you. You know, I don't need to like hang on to everyone, all my students, you know, like I'm not trying to disappoint anyone, but I'm doing what's in alignment for me. And if you guys stick around, great. Thank you so much for your support. It's the quiet confidence energy that I'm talking about. This is what I need to do. I'm not like, oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you guys really understand because blah, 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 blah. Like that's insecurity. That's insecurity in yourself, trying to validate, trying to receive validation. So just do Just do what you know is right. And then Amethyst wants you to know that you're in the middle of a metamorphosis. So if something's changing outside of you, it's triggering you to change something inside of you. We're going to pull one more card from one more deck because someone asked about health and happiness. So this was health. We're going to pull about happiness. Jacqui, I wasn't here for the beginning. Are you going to be on YouTube still? I don't know. I don't know. And I don't like saying I don't know. I really don't like saying I don't know, but I got to learn how to say I don't know. What I can say is that right now I'm feeling overloaded with things that I've set up in the past when I was a different version, when I had different goals and different needs that I've just been like chugging through because that's just how we do it. And I'm realizing that my life is changing. So it's time for me to make some changes. So I'm stepping away from Insight Timer, at least for the rest of the year, just to get myself clear on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, because I want to I just had like 1,000 thoughts. Yeah, I want to work aligned with my heart and not aligned with scarcity. So Wendy, thank you kindly for your donation. If you guys have been enjoying today's session, if it's been inspiring to you in any way, this is my least favorite part of being on Insight Timer. I hate begging for donations. It feels like shit, so I'm not going to do it. If you guys want to donate, great. Thank you so much. April says, I appreciate you walking the talk, Jacqui. Happiness. Health says everything's going to be okay. Just be yourself. Something's changing, so now you are ready to change. So where does the happiness come from? How do we find happiness through this change? How can we most easily align with happiness during this change? We're just going to go with more Divine Masters. We're going to go with more Kyle Gray. It's a Kyle Gray day. Divine Masters Oracle. We're going to see how we can align with our truest happiness during all of this change. So feel free to send your energy into this deck. How can we align with our truest happiness? How can we align with our truest happiness? I might stay and rant for a minute after we get this card. But let's see what comes up. Which Divine Master wants to help us? Who wants to lead us to our divine happiness? Where does it come from? What can we do to get there? What do we need to know about happiness? Thank you. Okay, here we go. Here we go. That's pretty cool. So, Mary Magdalene is teaching us about happiness. We just used her deck the other day. This is great. So Mary Magdalene represents the sacred vessel, and her message is that you are the answer. Be guided to your purpose. Mary Magdalene, or Mary of Magdala, was one of the original followers of Jesus Christ, which Gabriel brought that up again. Interesting. It has been recorded that she had the first version of the risen Christ when she went to his tomb on Easter morning. And it was through this vision that he revealed to her his secret teachings and initiated her as a teacher. She was the apostle to the apostles, and it is therefore through her that a pivotal aspect of the original teachings of Christ has reached the world. She was a highly sensitive clairvoyant, and it has been speculated that she was the partner or wife or divine consort of Jesus. If Jesus was the vehicle for Christ energy, Mary was the vehicle for the Magdalene, a powerful feminine force that renders all beings equal and helps the world see that the voices of the feminine are not only important, but the sacred force that can save the world from ruin. You are the answer you seek. You hold the treasure, the magic, and the mystery. Right now, you are being encouraged to recognize that you are a valuable part of the universe's plan. If you have a strong desire to share what you have learned, it's time to do so. This can be scary and sometimes overwhelming because putting yourself out there can leave you open to scrutiny. But if you are comfortable with your gifts and your teachings, you hold a sacred energy that allows others to see you clearly. The light of Magdalene is surrounding you now and encouraging you to recognize that the healing you have experienced is actually what you are here to teach. Chiron direct. Take some time to reflect on what you have overcome and see this experience can help many. Your personal testimony can move others and even mountains. Lean on your Creator and know that you are being called to be a vessel for the sacred. So, what does Mary Magdalene want us to know about happiness? And just be yourself. Just be yourself. Your journey has brought you to heal the things that you have learned how to heal. Congratulations. That was hard work. Job well done. Now be that. Now be that to inspire healing in others who need that same healing. That's where happiness comes from. It comes from quite literally being yourself, sharing what you have learned, and just inspiring others to do what is best for them. It's very similar to what Gabriel brought up about that quiet confidence. These are the things that have helped me. I'm just going to talk about them. Not because I think that this is the prescription for everyone to heal, but it's a way to mess around and find out. I'm going to share the things that I have learned. I don't know if you need to learn it, but this is what has helped me, and that's what I know I can do to help heal the world. Lisa says, it's a great practice, Jacqui. My first immediate response was, I want Jacqui here every week. Then comes the recognition of my core belief of, I don't like people leaving. I check myself and realize other people have to do what they need, and I am safe when others aren't there. Thank you for saying that out loud, Lisa. I liked reading that. That also has been coming up a lot in me, that I don't like hand-holding. I don't like being the guru. I don't like the attachment. I don't want my students to attach to me to think that I have all the answers. It's icky to me. It feels like, get off me. I want the freedom to be able to show up when I have something to say and to back away when I need to get in my own space to find the next thing to say, you know? And so this is another thing that's been going on, is like, if I want detached students, right? That's what I desire. I desire students that are self-sufficient, who come to me as a bonus, because I'm a bonus. I'm not your 100% day after day guide. It's too much pressure for me. There are other guides who love to do that type of work. I don't. So if I want students who are detached, I need to set the stage to be detached. And that's difficult sometimes, because I know what it's like to get attached to someone and they leave. So all of that past trauma in me makes it uncomfortable for me to want to detach from you guys. But if all I want is to be detached, I have to take the first step. It's my life. It's my work that I want the detachment from. So I feel like it is kind of like a tough love thing. I'm teaching you to be self-sufficient by not always being available. Wow. Yeah, and if you're triggered by it, I'm not saying you specifically, just general people, if you are triggered by my need to detach, That's your opportunity to learn how to find that healing in yourself that you're looking for an external source to give to you. That's pretty cool. I really do love you guys, like a lot. Like a lot. Every time I sit down and I see the comments start coming in, it's like I get filled up. This is I love doing this. I love doing this. But I also love being able to do what I want to do and have the experiences that I want to experience when I want to experience them. And I believe I get to do both. So thanks for following me while I figure that out. Allie, thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate it. You're going to get a book dive from one of these 2 books. Alice says, I'm finding gratitude and helping other widows with their grieving journey. I love that, Alice. That's so important. That's so important. Every hardship that you go through, it's so that you can have the tools to help other people who are going through that hardship. Because sometimes you have a lighthouse and sometimes you don't. But if you've been through that and it means something to you and it resonates with you, then be that lighthouse. Daphne, thank you kindly. I appreciate your support a lot. Christine says, yep, I like that, Lisa. So true. That's about wanting me to be here all the time. We can look at ourselves when we have the reaction that another person is leaving, which affects me, but it's not about me. It's about them. And it's a practice. It's a practice. Alice says, pour from a full cup and not an empty cup. You know, I have to practice what I preach. I've been teaching that for years. You got to give your spillover. And then I'm here behind the scenes like, oh, I got to make sure I get on 3 days a week. And I got to make sure I do cards. And I got to make sure I give them astrology. And it's fun. I'm honestly having fun with this. It's scary. But I really... I've had comments from friends in the past about like, are you sure you want to share all of this private stuff about your life? Like maybe you don't need to open up as much as you are, but like I enjoy doing that. I enjoy letting you guys see that I'm a real human. And this is what I'm going through. And this is what's difficult. And this is what's fun. And this is what's easy. But no matter what, I'm always going to keep striving for what I want because I know that it's possible. Sometimes you just got to try things. Alice and Jacqui, thank you guys so much for your support. Very, very much appreciated. Jacqui says, very interesting. I hate silence. I used to enjoy calling my ex-friends. Now I'm resisting the urge to fill all the idle space with music. Yeah. Go with what flows. And it can change. It can change. Everything can change. Ellen, thank you so much for your donation. You know what I completely forgot about that's happening at 5:30 p.m. tonight? You guys know what's up? We're watching the Thrive documentary on my YouTube channel. 5:30 p.m. Central Time tonight. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see the live stream. Just hang out until I start streaming. Right around 5:30, might be a minute or two late because who knows. But we're going to just sit on YouTube together with a live chat and we're going to watch the Thrive documentary. The Thrive documentary is a documentary that talks about the free energy that is and always has been available to us and the documentary makers' theory on why we can't use it. Why aren't we using it? If it's free, what's happening? Why don't we just do it? So that's it. This is a part of a truth that I have found through my healing that has helped me see the world in a different way. So we're going to do that at 5:30, and then right about 8 o'clock Central Time, we're going to transition into a live Q&A group Zoom call after party. So the after party is a donation of $11 to $33, sliding scale, whatever you feel like you want to give to be a part of having me live answering your questions. And we're going to just hop on and discuss and digest and start to metabolize some of the new things that you may learn from this documentary. Thrive was made in 2011. So if you've seen it, wonderful. If you want to watch it again with us, wonderful. I watched it a few years ago and then I rewatched it within the last month. And like you see new things, right? I watched it 4 years ago. I've learned a lot. I've awakened a lot. And then I watched it again and I saw deeper messages. So if you want to come back and watch it again with us, cool. So that's happening tonight. All the links are in my Insight Timer bio. Everything always goes in my link tree. And then since I won't be here, I don't know when the next time I'm going to be on Insight Timer is, but we're going to do it for Thrive 2. This will be on Friday, January 3rd. Same time. Different Zoom link, different YouTube live link, but it's going to be the same setup for Thrive 2, which came out, I think, in 2019, 2020, 2021 era. Actually, I think it was after 2020 because whatever. But that's it. Allie says sharing your vulnerability creates connection. Lovely. Anik, I agree, Allie. You're helping us just by being authentic and willing to share. Thanks. It feels good. I like talking about myself. It's nice to have someone who wants to listen. Lisa says, enjoy, can't make it, but I've watched it. It's awesome. It's on my wavelength of what I think. My husband, who is dead against the banks holding our money, he even works in one. Love that section. Interesting. I would love to talk to people who are in that. What's happening in your real life? You work there? What are you seeing? What's the message there? It's just cool. Lisa, have you seen Thrive 2? That one goes a little deeper. These are all tiptoes. I got into a very big documentary kick over Mercury retrograde. I went deep into documentaries about who knows what. Lisa, Friday, December 3rd, we're doing Thrive 2 all together. And then also, so I don't know what's coming, but follow my socials, because if I do anything, it'll be on my socials. Also, you can join my email list. I do have an email list. I send out emails super rarely, once a season, to send you guys my updated Spotify playlist for each astrology season. And then if I have an announcement, it'll come out. So that's pretty rare. Anik, correct. Friday, January 3rd for Thrive 2. Everything I ever talk about, if it's a link, go to my Insight Timer profile. There's one link and everything is in my link tree. So yeah, email list is a good way to keep in touch with me as well. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I put a video on TikTok that got taken down the other day and I was like, you're doing it right, Jacqui. You're on the right track. It was a video about how everything's going to be okay. But I used some key words to describe and help people understand, and it was taken down. It's just interesting. And then I was going to say something else. I am offering one thing that you can purchase from me if you are interested in working with me and supporting my work. So I've been playing around with this AI music creation. Not going to lie, I'm not singing the songs. I'm not writing the songs, but I am writing the songs and I am producing them and I am crafting them. But what I'm doing is I'm taking birth charts and I'm making them into a song, and it's super fun for me, and it's a fun way for you to receive a song that's about you. Or I thought it would be fun to give as a gift, right, for someone who's like into astrology, like a teeny bopper, you know. So I offer a song about your big three, sun, moon, rising, or a song about your chart highlights. What is everything that I see about your energy? Who is this person? What speaks about this person through their chart? And then I turn it into a song, and it's just fun. It's just fun and goofy and silly, and it's a way for me to express my astrological knowledge in a new way. So that's something that I just threw out there. I'm doing it because it's fun. I don't know how long I'm going to do it. And I also don't have like a promised turnaround time with those either, because I'm not going to stress myself out over getting it to you as fast as I can. I mean, I will, but not like totally, because I want it to be authentic. I want it to be a true, like, okay, I'm ready to sit with this chart. Let me sit with this chart. So, I mean, it only takes me a couple days. I'm not saying like weeks and weeks and weeks, but I just want to be transparent about that. So that's something that I'm offering right now. This is scary for me to just back away. I'm not offering anything. I have the coaching clients I'm going to work with in January. That's all set. That's done. That's closed. I'm going to step away from Insight Timer for a minute. I will create stuff and I'll put it out on my socials because I'm a creative person, and I think it's just going to shift a little bit. It'll be a new, unique way of creating. Yeah. Because you guys like me, right? You really like me. I like to attract students who just enjoy me and my way of seeing the world, and not are necessarily attached to how I present that information. I got real attached to astrology for a long time, and I'm feeling myself pulling away from it. I still love astrology. I just don't want it to be my all day, every day anymore. You know, it's just interesting. And I hope that you guys are inspired by watching me look around and find out. It's my favorite. All right, guys. Tonight, Thrive, January 3rd, Thrive 2. Hang out on my socials. Watch me. See what I get up to, because I don't know, but I'm a fun person. And I will do my best to serve you the best that I can in a way that feels good for me. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy whatever you celebrate. I wish those things because that's what I celebrate. I don't even celebrate Christmas. I don't even care. But thank you guys. I love you so much. I'll see you when I see you. Sending all of my love to all of you. Namaste. Take care. See ya when I see ya.